Early caffeines are called. Ralph with tech news ready for all. Coding workouts getting us toned. By sunrise we'll be in the zone. Grab your Java, sip the brew. Headlines, tech tips just for you. Editing lines, making it tight. With every keystroke we see the light. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Push those reps in lines of code. Script the future fast and bold. From headlines deep to bites so bright, we're your guide to morning mics. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coding flows, camaraderie grows. News unfolds and insight flows. Minute by minute, heartbeats pace. Come join us at the daily race. CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully you are doing well. It is a new week. It is a new day. It is Monday, January 13th. Yes, we're already 13 days into January. We can't say Happy New Year's anymore because we're way past that. Once we hit double digits, that's the new rule. Once we hit double digits, you can't say Happy New Year's anymore. Happy New Year anymore. All right. I am Tech Coach Ralph. We are engineered to win, right there. Engineered to win, right? Always engineered to win. That's our goal. Learning, using what we learn, and running it up from there. So how is everyone doing? Hopefully you are all doing well. I'm doing good. I got some great sleep last night, and I am feeling energized and ready to take on the week. I got so much stuff done over the weekend. It was a pretty good week. It was a pretty good weekend, if I must say so myself. How was your weekend? Let me know, and we will go from there. All right. So, quick announcements. At noon today, we have Candid Conversation premiering. I will be in the chat. I'm going to be talking about how somebody just recently, last week, reached out for help. They said they really, really, really needed my help. And I ignored them. Yep, I did. So I'm going to be telling that story and how it relates to a past story and on why I do not really care too much about helping, people when they just tune in, and you'll see why. And I want to know, was I wrong? Was I right? Should I have helped? Should I have not? That is the topic for Candid Conversations at noon. So tune in. I will be there with you, and we can have that conversation. All right. Tomorrow night we're going to be going live with Q&A, tech Q&A. So tune in. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat tomorrow, and I will get your questions answered. And you can also call in if you wish, right? You can also call in if you wish. So that is the plan for today and for tomorrow. But for now, we are going to get into the large language models. You know what? Let me check real quick. Let me check if there are. I didn't even check because honestly, I totally forgot about the numbers to watch because I'm so excited to do this large language models. But we do have numbers to watch. So let's take a quick look at the numbers to watch for this week. So let's jump over that real quick, and then we will get back into working on this AI type. I am so intrigued by this AI stuff that I'm learning. I told you guys last week, I'm thinking about creating a few things, but definitely my own content creation workflow where it will generate my title, it will generate the description, it will get the tags for me, it will generate the thumbnail. I just looked up to see if Midjourney has a API that I can plug into, so I can generate on the fly. And I remember we were looking at the Flux AI for image generation as well, so it's something to also look into. And if I can just streamline the whole process, I can just say, you know what, I need all my details, all my metadata for my videos based off this is what the video is about, and then it generates everything, and then it goes and pushes it to YouTube, maybe Spotify, maybe all the platforms that I want it to go to. And if I can streamline that, that would be absolutely amazing. All right. But let's take a quick look at the numbers that we're going to be looking at on Saturday morning for our Men Lie, Women Lie Numbers Manipulate show. And then we will get into working on this large language model. All right. So let's take a quick look. All right. So we have inflation is expected to return to center stage this week with a key gauge forecast to show faster price growth in December. The U.S. Consumer Price Index is forecast to have increased at an annual of 2.9%, up from 2.7% seen in November, according to inflation nowcasting by the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland. Sticky inflation after last week's bump in job reports could push the prospect of interest rate cuts by the Federal Reserve further into the future. But where are the numbers though? Where are the numbers? What's going on here? Well, that'll probably get updated this week, but we do know on Thursday we'll have the what do you call that number? The jobless claims, and at some point we'll have the U.S. Consumer Price Index. But it looks like good old Kate at LinkedIn, editor at LinkedIn News, forgot to put the actual numbers that we're going to be reviewing, but hopefully it gets updated during the week, right? But for now, let's get back to what we are all here to do. But I got in the building. We got my guy, my bro, Rod with 1D in the building. Morning, fam. Good morning to you as well, Rod Brown. Up early. How was your weekend, Rod Brown? How was your weekend, Rod Brown with 1D? The man formerly known as Rod Brown with 2 Ds. It was Rod Brown, not Rod Brown. Now it's just Rod Brown, right? I'm just saying, you know. Anyways, let's get to work. Let's not waste any time. All right. So, should I break it up in 2 segments? Nah, we'll just go for it, and we'll interact as necessary. All right, so week 2, I have my Notion document up so that I wanted to review what we did last week, which I don't have it in the Notion document, but I can do this. Hold on 1 second. Let's do this. Let me do this. So if I go here, all right, so let's take a look at this. So we have, let's go over here. And let me do, all right, so last week, when I say last week, for day 1, because today we're pretty much on day 2. Last time we installed Ollama on day 1. We ran the latest version of the Llama model. We ran 3.2 because 3.2 was 42 gigs, and I did not feel like downloading that. Maybe I'll download it to get the latest updates, but I won't download it on stream. And it takes a lot of space. It's 42 gigs. That's huge. The 3.2 is 20 gigs, which is also huge. And I'm not trying to have my whole this space taken up by Ollama models when I can just use OpenAI. But anyways, we checked out the models. We set up our data science environment. We cloned the repo for the large language model engineering course that is in the Udemy course that we are going through together. The link for the Udemy course is pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description. If you haven't signed up for it yet and you want to follow along, feel free to do so. We installed Anaconda. We didn't do it through Docker. We just did it through regular Anaconda on my Mac, which you can also do it on your PC if you're using that. Pretty much Jupyter Notebook comes with Anaconda, so we didn't have to install Jupyter Notebooks. However, I do want to do a project one of these days where maybe it'll be a DevOps project, right? Where we're going to log into one of the cloud providers, and we would install Anaconda and Jupyter Notebooks via a Docker image and work with it that way. That way we can have more powerful machines. We can run it in the cloud, all of that good stuff. We set up our .env file. We created our OpenAI key, and then we worked on the project for the web page summarizer, where and I'll put that up once we open up Jupyter Notebooks. I'll pull up what we did last week, because what we did on day one is going to relate to what we're going to be doing today. What we did on day one was we used OpenAI, the OpenAI API, to create a web page summarizer. Okay, and we saw it worked. I passed in an article from I think it was NBC News, and it summarized it. And another amazing thing on Saturday's show, I also used the web page summarizer to summarize the the Federal Open Market Committee meeting minutes, which was 17-page PDF. We got it down into like three paragraphs. So that is why I was so excited to learn about this AI thing, because I was already thinking, like, we should implement a summarizer on the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, so that, like, really long stuff, we can just say, all right, here, I want a summary of this, and I'm like, we can even probably create a which, if it doesn't exist already, but a Chrome extension where it can summarize a web page for us as well, and then maybe even populate the summary into a Google Doc. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. But so we did that. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the Ollama, our local language model, our local large language model, and we're going to implement that to do our web page summary. And then we're going to compare the summary between that OpenAI gives us to the summary that our Ollama local large language model gives us, right? So, little things like that. And then at some point, I don't know which show we're going to do this, because I don't really want to take the morning show to work on custom projects because we have a limited amount of time. But I don't know. I'll figure it out because Thursdays are for ethical hacking. Maybe I'll have to do some impromptu Saturday shows where we can do some custom development and stuff like that. I don't know. We will figure it out. I'll figure it out. But so we looked over the Jupyter Labs. We used Beautiful Soup. We used OpenAI on our day one, and today we're on day two. So I'm gonna transition over to day two. And our goal, like I said, for today is to, I don't know why this says December 27th, but our goal for day two is to move from the OpenAI, a closed source model, to Ollama, an open source model. Okay, so I just wanted to run through this real quick. I'm going to create a presentation on this for our software explorations concept and overviews for not this week. This week is going to be about the 5 stages of ethical hacking and penetration testing. Next week, I want to for next week I want to go through the 3 different dimensions of large language models in AI. So we have models as a dimension, we have tools as a dimension, we have techniques as a dimension, right? And under the models, we have the open. Like if you're going through the course and you went through day 2, you'll see you would have went through this, right? But the models, open source, closed source. Open source is like Ollama. Closed source is like ChatGPT, Gemini, stuff like that. We have the multimodal, we have architecture, we have selecting. I'm not familiar with these yet, but in our presentation, we will get very well familiar with them. Can I zoom in on this? Let me see. Can I zoom in? All right, there we go. And then we have our tools, which is Hugging Face. I'm not familiar with that. LangChain, what I remember from the course is that it combines a bunch of large language models into one. So let's say it would combine like ChatGPT or OpenAI, whatever, the one for Gemini, things like that into one. So you have like one API that uses many. That's what my understanding is. Not 100% sure on that. I don't know what Gradio is yet. Weights and biases, not sure about that. Modal, I'm not sure about that. We're going to figure all that out. We might end up making like individual presentations to break down each of these as well. I'll figure it out as we go along. And as we go through the course, then we'll also get a better understanding, because it said we should be an expert in these by the end of the course. So we'll see, right? And then we have techniques, APIs, which is like using the OpenAI API and, whatever is equivalent to Claude, whatever is equivalent to Gemini. And we have multi-shot prompting, not familiar with that. We have RAG, not familiar with that. Fine tuning, sounds familiar, but I'm not familiar with that. And agentization, which I'm also not familiar with, but we will get more and more familiar with it, right? The three ways to use the model is chat interfaces like ChatGPT and Gemini. We have the cloud APIs for like large language models, like we did for OpenAI, how we have for the Ollama that we're using. And then there's frameworks like LangChain. And then there's direct interface, Hugging Face, which I'm not familiar with. And there's Ollama to run it locally, all right? So what we're going to be doing today, as I said, we're going to start with Ollama. And we're going to start up Ollama. And we're going to confirm that it's running locally, okay? So in order to, let me see. Let's see, how do we start up Ollama, right? Let me take a look. Let me see. Let's go over to, and let me say hello to my friends real quick. We have me, Mysify, in the building, says good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to the chat. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. We have the one, the only Roxy in the scrubs. Rock the scrubs. Good morning, Roxy. How are you doing? Hopefully you are doing well. All right. I haven't seen you in a while, Roxy. I'm happy to see you. Happy to see you here, right? Okay. So let's continue to here, and we're gonna go to how to start Ollama, which it's in the course, right? But I just like to Google these things as well, so you can see how we do the Googling and stuff like that, right? So pretty much it's Ollama run and then Llama do. All right, so and let me see. Let's do this. I'm gonna go over to. Let's go to our. Let's go over here. And let me clear that. And we're going to say, let me see if I just type in Ollama, right? And we have, okay, Ollama, sir. So we have Ollama. And now by typing in the command Ollama in my terminal, it's going to bring up what options that I have. And it says, create a model from a model file. I didn't know you could do that. We have run a model, stop running a model, pull a model from a registry, push a model to a registry. Interesting. List models. So let's refresh a little bit. Ollama list. And we have the Ollama 3.2 model, which is 2 gigs. I thought it was 20, but I remember the other one, Ollama 3.2 was like 42 gigs, which almost gave me a heart attack. All right, so let's go and let's just do, to start Ollama, we're gonna do Ollama and serve. See what happens. So it's already running, right? So as part of the course, so now I said, all right, let's confirm that it's running, because I'm gonna go to this URL right here. So it says, if we go here, and I'm gonna take this into the other browser, into the other screen. And if I go here, and it says Ollama, you can't really see. Let me see if I make it a little smaller. Make this a little smaller. All right, there you go. So it says Ollama is running. All right. So now we know that it's up. Okay. So next thing we're going to do, we know Ollama is running. Then we're going to start up we are going to start up. So that means Ollama's always been running on this machine. So that's good to know. Let me clear this out. And now we're going to let's activate our, it should already be activated, but just to be safe, I'm going to activate our Conda environment. So we're going to do Conda activate LLMS. All right, we should be activated. And now we're going to do Jupyter and then lab or labs, lab, it must be lab, clear Jupyter lab. And that is going to open up for us. So now I can go to the other browser. It's up and running. And we have our Jupyter Labs notebook. All right. So with that being said, we are going to, let's see. Cool. All right. So now, so this is what we did on day one. And let me just scroll down through this real quick and see all, and you see all these little files over here. They are like, well, under the day. So this day one, somewhere it's pulling these images from. All right. So, all right. So let me go down to what we did on day one, to the last part where we were doing the, summary. We use this on Saturday, where I pass in the URL for the meeting minutes, right? And it summarized this for us, right? So that was really, really cool. I was so happy to see that, right? And then we tried to do it for this Bureau of Labor Statistics, but they were blocking the access to OpenAI using it that way. So whatever. Anyways, so now we are going to, we're not going to do this create your own prompt thing, because we're going to move on to day two, where we are going to do so now we're going to be moving from OpenAI to using Ollama so that we can see it working locally. Okay, so we already installed Ollama, right? Let me see, can I zoom in on this? Let me see if I can zoom in on this. View. Can I zoom? See what happens if I try to zoom? Yeah, I can zoom. There you go. So we already did this. We know Ollama is running. If Ollama is slow on your machine, try using as an alternative, but it is not running slow on my Excalibur machine. So to start off, we need to import the request, the beautiful soup, BS4 all right, a little bit of Python breakdown. The package is called BS4, and we're importing beautiful soup from BS4. And then the IPython display to support Markdown language, okay? Which is really cool actually, because on our Urban Dictionary of Economic Data, pulling in data from OpenAI, we were able to use a JavaScript or a Node package to render what do you call it? To render Markdown language, so that we could be able to display our responses properly. So really cool stuff. Let me see. All right, so now importing the request library. The request library is what allows us to do our API request. Importing beautiful soup, importing Markdown and display. So let's go ahead and run this one. I'll do Command Enter. So that's ran. So one of the things about Jupyter Notebook, in the different cells, you have to run the cell, because like if I try to run this, these are just setting variables. But once you actually, like if I try to run here and I didn't run all the above, then none of this would work, right? So we've done our imports. Next up, we're going to set our constants, our variables. So Ollama API is going to be our local host, and then API/chat. Right, let me see what happens if we just go to this URL. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen here, okay? Let's go to here. And 404 page not found. Okay, no problem. problem, no worries. So we're going to, it's interesting. Okay, so we're going to say, all right, let's run this one, right? So I did Command Enter. On Windows would be probably Control Enter on Windows. And it's like create a message list using the same format as we did for OpenAI. Describe some business applications of generative AI. Would be the user role. And if you guys remember, the user is, let's take a look at day one, right? Let's take a look at day one to get a recap of what the user role versus the administrator. I forgot the exact name. So we have, let me see. Where did they talk about that? We have, this is where we're getting the content. Let me see. Getting the content, all right, so we have the system role where the system is who ChatGPT or OpenAI is interpreting as a responder, and then we have the user as who is making the request, right? So system prompt would be, you are an assistant that analyzes the content of a website and provides a short summary, ignoring text that might be navigation related. Respond in Markdown. All right. And then the user role would be the question that you're asking. Okay. So let's continue. And then, all right. So the user role describes some business applications of generative AI. Right. Cool. So let's go ahead and run this message. So that's pretty much the request that's going to be made to Ollama. Payload is going to be model, which is going to be the Ollama 3.2, right? Message is going to be this right here. And stream, I think stream means like if you ever use ChatGPT and you're getting the response and it's coming in like real time. I think that's what stream means. But and they're saying not to do that. Let's confirm. Let's confirm, because I don't want to guess, right? And we have Google at our disposal. So let's see, what does stream mean in Ollama payload? So what does stream mean in Ollama payload? In Ollama payload, stream refers to setting that determines whether the model returns its response as a single block of text or as a series of smaller chunks, allowing for real-time updates and display of the generated output as it's produced, rather than waiting for the entire response to be calculated. Essentially, it enables streaming the response piece by piece. I wonder if that would be, I wonder if I should do that though for the, I wonder if I should do that for the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll see. But now we know what that means, but for now, we'll leave it as false. Let me run this payload. And we got my guy in the building. We have my best friend in the building.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
And he says, it just gets to a point. And you know what the funny thing is? Yesterday, I finally realized what my best friend Mitch meant by it just gets to a point. I thought he was saying all this time, just get to the point. But he's saying it just gets to a point where he sees how much he appreciates me. Aww. And I you know what, Mitch? I appreciate you too.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too. Thank you for being my best friend, Mitch. I don't know if I've ever told you that before. I don't know if anybody's ever told you that before, but thank you. I really appreciate it. All right. Let's see. Let's just make sure the model is loaded. Why is there? I mean, I know that the model is loaded, but I guess we'll try that anyways. Let's go to. Should I do it here? I don't know if I should do this here. Let me try. I don't know. Okay, I guess it is loaded. All right, cool. I did not know I could do this here. What is? Let me see. Let's do another search. What does exclamation mark mean in front of Jupyter Notebook cell. In IPython syntax, the exclamation mark allows users to run shell commands from inside a Jupyter Notebook code cell. Simply start a line of code with exclamation point and it will run the command in shell. What? I did not know that. I had no idea. So you learn something new every single day.
Let's get it.
That was super cool. That was super cool. So now we know exclamation points will run a shell command. Let me see. Let's see. All right, so we got that. If it doesn't work for any reason, try the 2 versions in the following cells and double check the instructions in the recap on installation for Ollama at the top of this lab. And if none of that works, contact me. Well, it works, so we do not need to contact Edward. All right, so response, Ollama post, JSON payload, and print the message and content. All right, so let's go and do that. So, all right, let's break down what's happening first before I run it. Here's what's happening. Okay, so we have the request package from Python, which is what makes our API calls. It's saying make a post request, right? And I can't stress enough, like knowing Python, right, is just one part of it, because just because you know Python doesn't mean you know how to use APIs. APIs are a totally separate thing. And everything comes together. Everything comes together from what we do in DevOps on Sundays to what we do on Thursdays for ethical hacking to what we do on in the mornings for large language models. Because I was thinking yesterday, I'm like, all right, cool. We can use Kubernetes to deploy our large language model, or to deploy, we can either create our own, or we can use Kubernetes to deploy the content creation workflow that I want to create as well. You know, so many options that we can do. But posts, you know, API calls. You've seen us do create APIs on like when we did the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. Like everything works together, right? So it's saying make a request. Make a post request to the Ollama API, which is this right here, right? And pass in the JSON payload of this right here. So it's going to be passing this in. And in here is going to be passing the model that we're using, which is Llama 3.2. It's going to be passing the message that we're going to be using, which is going to be this message right here, the user context, and to stream it as false, right? What I'll do is I'll also change it to true afterwards, just so we can see what happens. And then we're passing in the headers. Where's the header? Header content type application /JSON. All right. So that's what this is saying to do right here. It's making an API request, passing in this information, and then print the response, which is going to be inside of JSON message content. All right. So let's go ahead and run this. All right. I need a. All right, you guys. Being that we haven't seen Roxy in quite a while, give me a thumbs up if you want us to end the show with Rock the Scrubs. What do you guys think? Thumbs up if you want me to end the show with Rock the Scrubs. You guys let me know. If you guys want Rock the Scrubs, then you've got it, all right? Just let me know. Let me know. I have it queued up and ready to go, okay? All right, so let's see some specific industries. All right, so there goes our response. Generative artificial intelligence has numerous business applications across various industries. Yada yada yada. Right. Some specific industries that are heavily investing in generative AI, e-commerce. Yada yada yada. All right. So introducing the Ollama package. Now, guess what? All that we just did, right? All that we just did over here. It was so that we can be well informed on the different ways of using it. But look at this. Some specific industries. All right, so now there is a package called Ollama. There's a package called Ollama. So with Ollama, we can just bypass the whole doing the request package post and all that good stuff, right? So we can just go straight to Ollama chat and then pass in the model and pass in the message, and then we'll get the same thing. We have Reese in the building. Shout out to you, Reese. How are you doing? So happy to have you here. Says, let me see. I'm late, but what could you use Ollama with? So a quick breakdown on Ollama is that it is like having a I can't really put a number on it, but it's like having a very, very, very small version of your own Chat GPT or Claude or Gemini on your local machine, right? So it's like having your own large language model on your local machine. There's different models. I'm using the 3.2 model, but they have 3.3, they have 3.1. You can there's so many different models you can choose from. But the use for it is, let's say you have a business that you can't use. Let's say it's like, there's security reasons that you can't use ChatGPT, OpenAI, Claude, Gemini, whatever else, right? So you can build your own model to run locally on your own servers within your company, and you can use AI that way. All right. So that is something that you could use it for. Another use, because there was this organization who does like laptops for, it's like they call it what do you call it? Something in a box. Internet in a box, I think they call it, right? And they pretty much have one laptop that is a server, and it has and a bunch of other laptops can connect to that server, and they can use like that server, so kids can learn all this other stuff. So you could also install Ollama on that machine, because it's for places like third world countries that don't have internet access and stuff like that, so that they can still get the information. So you can actually run Ollama on that server as well. And now these laptops can also end up using their own version of a ChatGPT like, right? So there's like many different uses for it. And your car says role playing, code assistant, data extraction, and local communication with documents. Exact 100%. Great stuff. All right. Let me see. All right. Let's continue. Let's see. All right. So, if it says alternative approach using OpenAI Python library to connect to Ollama. Interesting. So you can use OpenAI, Ollama via OpenAI, and then you say, all right, OpenAI, the base URL is the local. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. I did not know. So you learn something new every single day. All right, let me go ahead and let's do this, right? We're gonna try using the Ollama package, Let's go and do enter. And let's see, there we go. And I want to change the stream to be, I want to try this, right? Let's change this to be true. Because, I just like to try different things out, So let me see. I wonder if there's a place to put stream in here. But I don't see that yet, but let's go to here. Did not see it stream. I didn't see it stream. Let me try something else. Let's see. Who won NBA MVP in 1997? Let's see what we get for that one. All right, let's pass that, and pass that. Well, that's not nice. Let me see. Why'd that fail? Let me see. Print response. Change it back to false. Let's go here again, here again, here again. We don't need that. So when I set it to true, it didn't do it. But when I set it to true, it didn't work. But when I set it to false, it did work. So that's interesting. Anyway, it's whatever. Let's go to. All right. So if we do the same thing over here, using the Ollama, and there goes Michael Jordan won the NBA MVP award in 1997. Nice. I wonder. Let's see if it has it. Who won it in? Let's see how recent it goes. Let's see who won it in 2020 or 20. Would it be 2024? Let's try that again. I don't have information on the 2024 season award, as my knowledge cutoff date is 2023. All right, I'll change to 2023. Let's see what they have in 2023. Maybe the 3.3 version has 2024 information. Let's do that. I'm not aware of. Okay, well, whatever. So that is a difference. Between using Ollama and using OpenAI. Because if we use OpenAI, I'm pretty sure it'd give us the answer for that. All right, so let's continue. So we have this running with OpenAI. We can try this one as well. Let's go. So this one is using OpenAI's library to connect to Ollama, and let's see what happens with that. And same thing. Cool. Awesome. Give us a different response, but it still worked. All right. So now the project for day 2 of the class is to take code from day 1 and incorporate it here to build a web page summarizer using Llama 3.2 running locally instead of OpenAI. Use either of the approaches above. Right. So basically, what I'm going to do today, I am going to only write out what we need to do. And then starting on Wednesday, we'll actually start to implement the code, because I want to map out the steps that we're going to be taking so that I can visualize every single code block that we're going to have to go through. Right. So what I'm going to do though, I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm going to write it backwards. Okay. So, and by backwards, I don't mean I'm going to write type backwards. I'm going to start from the end and work my way to the beginning. Okay. So our final result is that we want to have, so expectation. Let's do this, right? So let's do project goals. Ollama is being passed a web page URL, and it returns a summary of that URL, right? Of that page. All right. So expectation is summary of past URL is provided, right? So that's going to be our last thing. So in order to get that summary, I need to pass in the URL of the page I need a summary of as a, that's cool. I need a summary of, right? So then I need to say, I need a function that will take the URL and pass it to the Ollama Python function, right? Python code, something like that, right? So within here, I need to say, all right, what do we need to do? So I need to set the system context, right? I need to set the user context. What else do I need to do? create the, let me see, let's say, set the system context, set the user context, make the request to Ollama to summarize the web page. Print out the response from Ollama. And it needs to be in Markdown code. Let me see, what else do we need to do? So we have that. Anything else? Let's see. I think that's about it. Oh, we need to use beautiful soup. All right. So in order to, all right. So before we can even, so before all of that, right? So we also need to be able to take in the web page, right? So, so we need to say, get the content of the web page. And in order to do that, we need to do import beautiful soup. So, all right, we need to use beautiful soup to parse the HTML content. And we need to strip out navigational information. We need to say, add relevant page content into or store relevant page content into a variable. Store relevant page content into a variable. And we will say, got that. I think that's about everything. Let me think. Let me take a look at day one to see if we're missing anything for this, right? So we have that. We have, all right, taking the user prompt, system prompt.
It's real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
We are gonna wrap it up in just a second because I think we got most of everything. So we're going, all right, so we need to request to get the URL, pass in the headers. We're gonna need, all right, we're gonna need this as well, the header, which we can copy that. Yeah, that, but that's about it though. So like, we need to, let's go to set the user agent. All right, so we have our, so pretty much what we're going to be doing on Wednesday is we're going to set our user agent, right? And then we're going to get the content of the web page using the request library, using Beautiful Soup. We're going to strip out navigational information from our, not here actually, it's going to be inside of, it's not going to be here. It's going to be, so this has to be it. So store page content. And in here in the system content, we're going to strip out navigational information. And then we're going to store the relevant content into a variable, right? So that we can pass that into the user context, pass the relevant page content into the user context, right? So passing in the URL over here, and here we should get the summary. And and then print out the response, yada, 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 which would be done over here. All right. So that's pretty much what that's our project for this coming Wednesday. We're going to see how far we can get to it on Wednesday. If we don't finish it on Wednesday, we shall finish it on Monday, the following Monday, right? Because we are here to learn. We're not in a sprint. We're running a marathon where we are here to learn about large language models. Let me go back to full screen, and we're going to wrap it up for today. Let me see if there's anything in the chat real quick. So Rez says that's fire. Happy to, and like I said, I appreciate you being here, Rez.
I appreciate you.
And hopefully you find this valuable. If you're interested in following along with the course that I'm going through, it's a Udemy course. The link is in the description. Feel free to join it. We're only on day 2. We started on New Year's, and we're just, about 45 minutes to an hour, Mondays and Wednesdays as we go through it. It's if you go at it on your own, I think it's an 8-week course, 5 days a week. So, but we're going slowly through it and we're going back. I'm explaining what I'm learning, all that good stuff. So really, really useful stuff, especially with where things are going in the future. I was on the on Talk That Tech, watching Talk That Tech this morning. And my guy over there, Joseph, was saying that, one of the top jobs are AI engineering. They're like something about like that. They're averaging about $106,000 a year. So much potential. And me, like, I'm learning this so I can implement this into my own workflows, whether it's at work, whether it's on my content creation. So many uses for it, But yeah, so anyways, let me check the chat one more time. I know that my friends up there in Michigan are freezing. Be My Spy says that it is cold up there, and Roxy says it will be colder. It will be colder tonight. Oh my God. I wish you guys the best. Hopefully you guys have your heaters or your furnaces, whatever you guys use up there. Hopefully that's working strong and you guys stay warm, because I'm not a fan of the cold. So wish you guys the best. All right. But as we wrap it up for today, I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to rock out to rock the scrubs on our way out. You guys have an amazing day. Let me see if I can find, where is my rock scrubs? There we go. You guys have an amazing day, an amazing week. I will see you guys at noon for Candid Conversations, where I'm going to be talking about how somebody reached out for me for help the other day, and I just flat out ignored them because I had way better, more important things to do for people who actually value my time. All right. But on that being said, I'm out. You guys have a wonderful day. See you guys later. Take care.
Roxy in the scrub, she's our guiding light, fixing up the broken in the darkest night. Needles and coat, she's got it all down. Queen of the ward, never wears a frown. In the hall she's running, never breaks a sweat. Patching wounds and systems, never lost yet. Heart of gold and hands so steady. On call for all, always ready. Oh, Roxy, you rock those scrubs like a boss. Through the chaos and cold, never at a loss. Nurse of the year, lifting spirits high. With every stitch and line, you touch the sky. With a stethoscope and keyboard side by side, healing through the numbers and the patient's pride. Roxy's got the power and the skill to mend. Every life she touches, she's a friend. In the midst of beeping machines and pain, her confidence soothing like the rain. For every patient in need, she stands tall. Roxy's the anchor for us all. Oh, Roxy, you rock those scrubs like a boss. Through the chaos and cold, never at a In the midst of beeping machines in pain, her confidence soothing like the rain. For every patient in need, she stands tall. Roxy's the anchor for us all. Oh, Roxy, you rock those scrubs like a boss. Through the chaos and cold, never at a loss. Nurse of the year, lifting spirits high. With every stitch and line, you touch the sky.
Sun's up, early caffeine's our call. Ralph with tech news ready for all. Coding workouts getting us toned. By sunrise we'll be in the zone. Grab your Java, sip the brew. Headlines, tech tips just for you. Editing lines, making it tight. With every keystroke we see the light. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Push those reps in lines of code. Script the future fast and bold. From headlines deep to bites so bright, we're your guide to morning mites. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coding flows, camaraderie grows. News unfolds and insight flows. Minute by minute, heartbeats pace. Come join us at the daily race. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Coffee and CAA, wake up the day. Stretch your mind in the geeky way. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind. Tech coach Ralph, you'll never lag behind. Mornings are better with our grind.